What's up, friends? This is Manni, and I'm a little fed up with the current meta right now. So I found a bit of an older recording where I was running the Weber Typhon in an older meta where things were just different, you know? You didn't have robots like a Sumjock just crossing the entire map in complete invincibility, right? And we had plus 100% damage boost with balanced unit and nuclear amplifier. That was a time when we actually used some balanced units still. Do you even remember that? Do you remember? We used to be able to switch out modules and equip other modules into this. We have the Daredevil Typhon, which means we get another 20% from sacrificing our primary ability. But, you know, that just gives us more damage output. Then the Power Man skill for faster recharge on the weapon, right? And overall, this equals out to about 180% increased damage, which means that we're firing, instead of with 4 Gauss, or Weber, sorry, we're technically firing with 7. Okay, so, yeah, let's enjoy a bit of this, a little bit of an older meta. I'm not 100% sure if I've never used this gameplay for a video, but it looked unfamiliar to me. So, if I did ever use this, it must have been a while ago. So I think it's fair to look at some older gameplay again and see how it was a different time right then, right? Alright, so, and I'm just having fun right here. Nothing one-shots me at 800 meters, and that sounds like and you were dead, right? What's that sound? That's right, it's the regulators that lock in on you at 800 meters and drop you in 1 second. Leave you 0 chance to react and get back in cover or even activate phase shifts or anything. If you activate your phase shift in time, then you still probably have taken like 70% damage, because this is War Robots now. You just get one shot. And the newest weapon, Nanea and so on, they literally one-shot you, right? But then again, we're also using a weapon setup that has a lot of damage per shot, you know? We do, however, need to recharge after. Boom! And just look at that damage the Fenrir is taking, man. Because it hurts me a little bit to see this, because the Fenrir relies on his resistance, but this Typhon counters him completely. He ignores the resistance completely, and therefore the thing isn't... Oh, dang it, he just had that shield going. And therefore, the Fenrir really isn't working against the Weber, Gauss, and Volt combo. I'm also being asked a lot, Manni, what do you think about the Reapers on the Crisis, on the Bagliore, and so on? And I can just tell you guys, the Reapers are dead. Pixonic have completely nerfed them to the ground, to the point where there's nothing left. These things, what do they reload now? 13 seconds or some nonsense? Or maybe even 15 seconds, I don't know. And then they fire a very predictable set of shots that does damage not quickly, but over the course of 1 or 2 seconds. So you get hit by Reapers, you feel it, you phase shift, you activate stealth, you do this or that. There's 1,000 reasons why you suddenly neglect incoming damage, and this is something that the Reapers are subject to people understanding they're getting hit by Reapers and making counter measures to that end, you know. Airstrike. Oh, by the way, this was also before there was the Beholder battleship that would literally delete you from the game in like 1 attack. Next battleship on me. What in the world is going on here, dude? Holy smokes. But yeah, I'm still alive, and that's because the game was more fun, more fair, and the gap between what you bought and what you are able to pull off with your skills was a little smaller. And remember, this time, it's not ages ago, so we still had a lot of problems in the game. Even then, I would frequently make a video ranting about things that are terribly unbalanced, you know? But just look at this now and then, right? Big difference. So the longer it goes, the less of War Robots remains, you know? And, yeah. I mean, we could probably make a video series reviving some older moments in the game and just looking at them from a today's standpoint and just reliving these times. There's a lot of content on the channel, probably more than 2,000 videos at that point. Or is it more than 2,000? Or is it 1,500? I'm not sure, but a lot of videos. So feel free to tell me if you're interested in something like this. Yeah, also if you like the content, ladies and gents, and you're not yet subscribed, please consider staying tuned and subscribing. I'm a little impressed that I'm still alive with this one Typhon here, right? After such a long time. We're still kicking. I have that battleship that even restores some of my gray durability that I've lost. So I can kind of artificially keep myself alive a little longer if I just don't take too much damage at once. You know, 170,000 HP is not a lot of health, man. But it is enough to stay here and keep firing with all my weapons. And I feel like this is going to be a good round. We're going to see some good stats at the end. Can I hit him? No. It seems like my shots go into the wall. I'm not sure though. Bum 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 bum. Okay, that was a hit. One thing I'm missing here, and this is one of the great things that Pixonic has added, is the damage hit indicators. I would like to see my, what is it, maybe 300,000 damage per shot every couple of seconds. I would love to see that. I would really do. I really would. Oh, he lagged in cover, dude. Don't worry, I'll be with him in just a second. Boom. Whoa! That Capri took one to the chin, dude. He took it like a champ. Oh, man. Yeah, I miss this time when the game was so much more free-flowing and fun. And I know that you guys do too. Most of you anyways, those who have been there at the time. Wow, I dropped the shield and my friend with his Movomets was just dropping him quickly. Also something you barely ever see, a Movomets nowadays, right? This was also here a Sharenga Titan. Sharenga Titan, Movomets. Yo, this was the time when, yeah, the game had problems, but they were a little smaller than today. This is gonna be a long video. I'm looking forward to seeing the stats now in this video. Let's see. We can make a guess. What do you guys think we did? It's the older time, damage was a little less, HP on the enemies was a little less, right? Not everything had 600,000 health. So, hard to say. I would say maybe we've done about 5 million damage now. Not sure how many kills, maybe 12? I'm saying 12 kills and 5 million damage. Let's see where we end up in reality. Oh wow, there's an Erebus firing down at me with his decay weapon. Wow, and I hit him really hard. And my shield was tanking a lot of that damage. That was good. Back then, the Typhon shield actually did something. Whoa! It's 7.5 million damage with 13 kills. So in terms of kills, I was pretty close. But the damage I miscalculated. Alright. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Alright, wait a minute. I had an absorber shield? Hold on, where did that come from? Because I'm running the armadillo drone here. So I'm not getting a shield from the armadillo drone, right? But where is... Oh, did you see that lag? That was so unfair. Where did that purple absorber shield come from? A pilot skill? Could it have been a pilot skill? If you take such and such amounts of damage in such and such time, you get but I feel like it was modules. Actually, I don't remember. Tell me what I'm getting that absorber shield from, guys. If you remember, I seem to have forgotten where it came from. I'll be reading the comments as I usually do to find out what you guys are saying. He also had it, so this must have been from that time when it was very common that people had the absorber shield when taking... I don't remember. I feel like it was a drone or something. A passively applied bonus from a drone. But the armadillo doesn't do it, and yet I have it. Okay, anyways. I just need to wonder a little longer before I read your comments, and then I'm sure together we can get to the truth. Oh wow, I just dropped him as he was falling with his harpy or siren. That was good. Boom! That Capri just took like a 90% hit in 1 second, dude. Yo, I really think these Gauss Weber Volt, if you were one of those players who invested into these weapons early on, you would have really gotten something out of it, right? You would have benefited a lot from this because these weapons are even extremely good today. Like I've recently shown you this video on the Ravager with 5 of them, and remember, weapons are one of the very few things in the game that you can still just freely mount off, mount here, there. No money needs to be paid, no currency needs to be, thrown at the game or at Pixonic to replace that weapon, to equip another one. Like with the pilot skills, that is incredibly unfair to you as a player, right? Just changing a pilot skill, now you start from scratch, you have to level the slot again even though you already did. It's so anti-consumer and so unfair. With weapons, that is not the case. You can just freely unequip, equip, play around as much as you want, and therefore, leveling the weapon would have been... Oh wow, did you see that? Whoop, whoop. He went down on health and instantly refilled from a drone, I think. So, leveling weapons is more useful than leveling pilots, probably. Leveling weapons is probably more useful than leveling robots, too, because robots tend to get a lot more often useless than the weapons do. Especially certain weapons. Other weapons are being made virtually useless, like the Skadi. Hail, Skadi, terrible weapons. Also the homing machine guns, no longer as good, There's a bunch of weapons where if you had invested a lot of silver into them, upgrading them, you would probably regret it now. The Gauss-Weber-Volt combo, however, it would have been one of those constants where you would have made a really solid decision, one that you can benefit from a lot. And, I wish we could say something like this confidently more often, because honestly, this is something that would make the game really great. If you could invest something, be it in-game resources that you've earned, or be it even money that you just drop, because you enjoy the game and you drop a tenner or 20 here and there, and and it's not forced. It is because you like it, you want to support it, you like doing it. It's on a very voluntary basis, and you can still have fun without it, This is how War Robots was back in the days when it was a fantastic game, when it was one of the best games out there. It was very optional to drop money. You could enjoy the game a lot without, but if you enjoyed the game so much and you played it a lot, what's the harm in dropping some money into a hobby that you really, really enjoy, right? As long as it's not forced and voluntary, there's nothing wrong about it. And that's exactly what War Robots used to be like. And it was very good at that. And I wish it would go back to that. And one of the things that would help it go back to that, if you had a confidence in your investments, like both in-game as well as real-world investments, that okay, I'm gonna spend a lot of that now. Here, everything I've earned over the last 5 hours of playing or 10 hours, but you're gonna benefit from that. It's gonna be fun for you, and not just now or the next month. It's gonna be cool also in 5 months, even though there's new equipment, and maybe the new equipment will be a little more relevant, but you still can always choose to go back to that weapon and enjoy it once over, It's just very sad when a weapon becomes, anything becomes useless, to the point where, you may as well just delete it from the game. And there is unfortunately a lot of that going on. I'm staying safe behind that little column, and I know that the Kepri hated it. He fired and fired and fired, and he was able to drop my shield a little, but nothing else. That was good. Kepri was also a really good robot. Only 4 light weapons, but hey, it was tanky, it was pretty quick on its feet, on its hovering, and it had the ability to support allies, Honestly, the Kepri was a great robot. It was a nice supporter. It could even hold its own, So, yeah, it's one of those really good releases. In case you're wondering, one of the releases I always really hated in the game, was Scorpions, later Shenlu's. I feel like this was an awful thing to start, to allow robots to teleport, not just teleport to you, and not just do that, but teleport to you without even needing line of sight. That is a big mistake in my opinion. At the very least, the robot should have to see you to be able to lock down on you and jump on you, at the very freaking least. And the next thing is they should never be allowed to teleport behind you. That is a no-go. Teleport in front of you so you can defend yourself and fire at the enemy back. Okay, but do not teleport behind you. And then even through walls without any line of sight. That is, imagine you're playing some sort of first-person shooter and the guy, like Rainbow Six Vegas, for example, okay? Bro is able to see you through the wall, teleport behind you and just one-shot you. How stupid is that? The game wouldn't make any sense at that point, you know? You may as well just delete it from your hard drives. And it's the same thing with Scorpions and Shenlus, especially with weapons that are able to kind of one-shot you as they come out from behind you, you know? No warning, just whoop, you're dead. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be a great game designer to understand this is a no-go. This is game balancing 101. How long have you been doing this, Pixonic? 7, 8 years now? And granted, the Scorpion came out a couple of years back, but you've been in the business for long enough to know this is game balancing 101. You just don't do that. That's just something you just don't do. In a competitive multiplayer shooter, allowing players to teleport behind an enemy through walls and everything, I never appreciated and enjoyed that. You know, that was always a terrible decision for me. Terrible game design. But they stick with it. They stick with the teleporting behind walls. I'm making an exception here for the Bagliore. The Bagliore can teleport to a beacon that he throws. You can see him throw that beacon. You can anticipate the move. And if you don't, it's your own fault. He got you, you know? Bam, there you go. He was able to teleport behind you because you didn't pay attention. So that, I'm completely fine with. Because there is a way to recognize it, and there is a way to use your skill, your knowledge, to counter it, to prepare for it, you know? Bagliore is an awesome robot, and I appreciate the robot being in the game. It's one of those things where Pixonic has done a great job, you know? And I also want to point out where they do a good job. Not just, you know, hammer in on the bad, but also say, awesome, Bagliore is fun, it's a great idea. Phantom, same thing, you know? You drop a beacon where you are, and you are always able to freely teleport back to this. Fantastic, I love that, right? This is how game design is done at an exceptionally good level. And that was done so well. A little different maybe is the Revenant. The Revenant can also teleport to you through walls, but the Revenant cannot teleport back. That's the one thing, you know? So he has to make a decision. He has to go all in when he teleports. He needs to know that he's going to win that fight, because if he doesn't, he's going to be destroyed, you know? So there is a danger to the Revenant as well. And secondly, the Revenant jumps in front of you, so you can immediately start fighting back. You're not, from the beginning, at a massive disadvantage. Although, of course, the Revenant activates some damage negation and so on while doing his ability. And he knows he's coming now. You don't expect it maybe, but at the same time you can just fire back at him, you know? So even the Revenant, to a point, I'm saying it's okay, even though I feel like also here, teleport please only with line of sight. Never teleport through walls. It's just not good game design, in my opinion. And Pixonic is really good at doing game design. They've proven this over the years, you know? They know what goes, what doesn't, and what's okay and what isn't. And when they do things that aren't okay, it's because they wanted it that way, you know? And so I'm sure they're not going to be surprised when there's critics coming in for when they do these sort of things. Or criticism, you know? And yeah, Revenant, I feel like it's okay. Even though also here I wish through walls is not a thing. And there are many great robots. The Erebus was always super fun to me. I love that robot. Oh man, the lag is just ruining every second shot now. Do you notice that? Also a topic. Why is no meaningful effort being put in next to cheaters in getting these hackers out of the game? Getting the lags fixed. Is it so difficult to do because of the cross-platform maybe? Or is it just not that there is the necessary motivation to do it, to go the extra mile, to spend the extra money on the better servers or performance? I'm not a game designer. I'm not very well in the matter or topic to know how this is all going. The pop just goes in one hit. Yeah, I really enjoy this old build. I like watching this. It calms me down. It's like really calming to see this bit of an older version. It's not super old, by the way, right? Just want to point that out. It is not super old gameplay. But there were no Raptors. There were no Shenlus, no Dux Robots. There's actually a Luchador running crate right there, you know, and there's Seraphs flying around a lot. So I feel like this might have been the Seraph era here, because I'm seeing a lot of Seraphs. But yeah, ladies and gents, don't forget to tell me, please, what it is that causes the purple shield to pop up on every player. I can't figure it out. It can't be the battleship, and if you ask me, it can't be the drone, because the drone... Oh, now I remember! Yeah, it is the drone, but you were able to equip the drone with different microchips. And these microchips were able to give you special effects. So you could have an armadillo drone with the on high damage absorber microchip that would do that effect for you. Ah, I remember now. Yeah, okay, I solved the riddle myself. Nice. I just had to go back even further in my head to the point where drones worked entirely different. Also one of those things, right? You had a drone, it had its own effects, and you were able to customize it. In a game where customization is like the base and core principle of the game, where this is what makes it fun, is that you can explore different setups that you enjoy and you can build it how you want it. And more of this is leaving the game. You've noticed that, right? With modules no longer being freely equipable, unequipable, and so on. With the drones, the same thing. Pilot skills being insanely restrictive on changing them. Oh, you want to change the pilot on the same robot? You're gonna have to pay all of it again for that pilot slot. Oh, you want to sit that pilot into another robot? Well, sorry to tell you, my friend, you're starting from scratch completely. All your, even the 50 euros or dollars, it's gone, bye. Start from scratch. It's so anti-consumer, and this is something that that just shows me where we are in the game. All right, so let's leave it as that. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you had a good time. I know I did, and let me know if you want to see some other, maybe a fine selection of some bit of an older content that was really interesting to watch, and I could give that again back to you at a later time. So see you around. Manni signing off, and bye bye.